Oh, it's me, Meta. Look, wow, 28 hours and 22 minutes that headlamp ran. I've learned other things about this thing. The battery comes out completely, and the battery is the part that has the charging circuitry inside. So that's where you plug it in when the battery pack is in the headlamp. It's secured in there, it doesn't come out. It has a rubber silicone type thing covering it, and you just plug it in and you look closer and oh, that battery part, that little rectangle comes out. I could just plug in the little rectangle. So if you're going to go somewhere and sit and charge your stuff and it's daytime, then you're going to go back to camp. Or if you're through hiking, trail hiking, and then you come up to somewhere with power, you don't have to bring the headlamp. This tiny little thing can fit in a cigarette lighter pocket. It's little, but this thing lasted this 28 hours and 22 minutes on low. So there's like a higher battery. I don't know what it is, but this one, it says SwissTech 680LM dual power motion sensor LED headlamp, battery capacity 2600 milliamps, model 31620, 5 volt DC 1 amp. Even has a date 03/20/22, Hangzhou Great Star Industrial Company Limited. And the other thing I figured out, I was thinking that, well, I guess these LEDs on the side, I don't know, I didn't get the manual for this. I want to try to find a manual or something, because even though if you're a real technical person and you're like, oh, I just figured it all out, like, I mean, there's still like some hidden things you might not know about. So this actually has motion sensor in it, and I've seen a couple videos, and I think people misunderstood the way it's supposed to function, because they say it's crappy, it doesn't work. Yeah, some people said like it doesn't work at all. It doesn't work. Like, well, is your thing defective? Because it works. It was, everything else was functioning. I think they just weren't using it properly. And other people are like, oh, it's crappy, it doesn't work that well. It's two little tiny infrared sensors, and they have some kind of circuit where if you wave your hand in front of it, it turns on, and you wave your hand in front of it again, it turns off. You have to be about 2 inches away from the sensor when you wave your hand. If you wave your hand like 3 or 4 or 5 inches away from it, it's not going to turn it on. And when I found out it's motion sensor, I'm like, motion, okay, motion detector light would, it would turn on when it sees motion, when it senses motion, like in your backyard. There's an animal or a person or something, when you walk by someone's front porch and the light turns on. Well, it has an infrared light, it's shining out, so when that gets blocked in any way, it engages it. But this is, I think people were probably thinking like, oh, motion activated, motion sensor, like you could set it somewhere and it's going to see an animal like 5-10 feet away, it's going to turn on. Or if you walk past it, it should turn on or something. It's not like that. No, it's clearly designed to turn on and turn off, because that's exactly how it functions. And then when you think about it, that's what makes the most sense. So just to be sure, I did find some documentation from the company, and it says wave your hand in front of it on motion sensor mode. So I've figured out also you can put it on the motion sensor mode, which is the left button. When you press that, it's on the motion sensing mode. It turns on the light. Then you just wave your hand in front of it, turns it off. Extremely convenient. I've never thought of having that on a headlamp. All the times, especially when you have to cycle through buttons, I can't frickin' stand it. When the buttons are janky or the connections are, janky, or the headlamp itself is like not stable, and every single time you want to like do a little cut on something or look at a little piece of wood or grab a thing, throw it here, and okay, turn on, turn off, turn on your headlamp, turn it off. You turn it on for a second, do a thing, turn it off. You're cooking, you could see enough where you're like, okay, I know where the water is in the food, and I'm stirring it, and it's stirring and stirring, and you're watching it, and the water's simmering, and you're like, yeah, and you're like, okay, oh wait, I gotta see right there. Turn it on real quick. Okay, cool, turn it off. All those times, especially, if I get stuck with the headlamp and I am forced to, either I will destroy that technology because it does not deserve to exist, and it should be destroyed back into the atoms of which it came. Carefully, in a controlled, safe way, not like raging. It's like in Office Space, the movie, electronic equipment, you are going to die now. Brutally. So, yeah, even my other headlamp, I smashed that thing as hard as I could, and it didn't like break or shatter. It was a glitch in the Matrix. It was an anomaly. It's weird. But yeah, I have to keep clicking, then it makes an error. It makes a mistake. You have to memorize fucking button presses and numbers and lengths of time, and if you have to hold it down or not, and then, well, what function am I on now? How many buttons did I fucking press? Dude, I just want to turn on a fucking light. I just want to turn on a light. Turn off a light. Could you imagine if every light switch in your home had some fucking complicated, stupid shit like consumer electronics have, with like, boo-doo, light turning on, boo-doo, light on. Like, dude, with Bluetooth speakers and shit. And you have to press a button and then hold it, and it has two functions, and it's, oh, well, I pressed the wrong thing, and then you can't go backwards. You have to go cycle all the way through, and then, wait, do I hold it down or press twice real quick? Oh, I have to go back through again. Okay, this time I know how to do it. Oh, wait, the double press, you have to do it real fast. And then you have to fucking, like, solve like a cipher, and it's like a grid matrix fucking word problem to, play a song on my Bluetooth speaker, and I have to fucking do like a dissertation like I'm in fucking, senior year of college again, and oh, here's my thesis, and but I failed it, so I'm not going to be a scientist after all. So so goodbye MIT. It was nice knowing you, and stuff. But anyway, it's you can turn on the motion sensor light and then still cycle through. The only thing that was kind of annoying was you have to press the button down kind of hard, and it's a clicky button, which is weird because it'll click, but it won't, like, you have to press it down hard. I don't understand, but I guess that's good because it makes it extremely, almost like impossible to turn on accidentally in a bag or something. You'd really have to try hard. And then it has a function where you could hold it and it turns off. But if you're not holding it down hard enough, it goes to the next highest brightness. So if you're trying to be stealthy and you're timing things where it's like, okay, I'm coming up on this ridge, I need the light off. Oh, and then it's fucking getting brighter, it's going up, then you're like, oh fuck, I'm visible as hell now. The thing is like pointing downward, it's going in your eyes, you have to stop, you're almost falling off your I was on a bike, it's like, dude, come on, dude. The red light is flashing, you're not sure if it's on, you have to put your hand in front of your face. A lot of annoying things like that you can't really avoid. But this thing, it took 2 hours and 20 minutes on a 1 amp charger. 2 hours and 20 minutes to charge fully. I really love it. I really love this thing. The light is extremely bright. It said something about having a narrow and a wide beam. I don't see any. This is like a 1 watt LED in here. It's one of those big squares. You can't adjust that. And the other ones are on the outside. Normally that would be like the floodlight. It's 2 sensors and then 2 red LEDs. So I don't think that's it. I don't think this one can adjust to go wide or anything, but yeah, I just wish it didn't have red, because you're not being stealthy when you have a bright red light that's making your face glow and look like a fucking alien floating through the forest. And then the next feature is a flashing red light that makes you look like a fucking floating alien head with a flashing light on your face. You know, a little shit like that. This thing is amazing, though. It's amazing, and I wanted to finish it up. If anyone, you're paying attention to the headlamp saga, and this was free, and it's working out good. It's working out good.